6:36, and we're back on the agenda. Item number 3, citizens to be heard. 30-minute limit, 5-minute maximum per speaker. Citizens are offered an opportunity to address the board without prior approval. The board, however, will not comment or engage in discussion. Presentation shall be informative only. No board action will be taken. Topics addressed shall be limited to those specifically included on the board's agenda and are school district related. Presentation shall not include statements which may be considered defamatory, inflammatory, and or threatening against a person or the district. And speakers shall not mention students' names unless naming their own child, nor address a complaint against a district employee or officer. Such complaints will be handled through the guidelines set out in district policy. At all other times, members of the public shall not enter into any discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board. Okay. First up is Allison Lopez.
Good evening, board members and cabinet. We are the Harlandale Council of PTAs. This is our president, Andrea Gonzalez, and she's going to go ahead and pass out a flyer. We wanted to let y'all know that on November the 11th, the day after the Frontier Bowl, we're having our second annual community festival holiday market. We will be having vendors. It will be located at the Harlandale High School inside and outside. We will be having vendors. If it's an organization or a club inside the school district, it's $50 for them. Any community members outside, it would be $75. And we're also looking for sponsors, whether it's individuals or businesses. We're going to have entertainment by the students from the school district, and we're going to have rides and games. We'll have it on social media. We'll be on the TV, on Channel 29, they're going to do an interview. So we're trying to promote the school district as far as trying to get businesses to come together and work with us and for us to function as a community together. So if any of y'all are interested in participating or donating, you can contact me. I'm the coordinator. And the person that handed out the flyers was our president, Andrea Gonzalez. She wasn't here last month when they introduced us. And just for the record, my name is Allison Lopez. I know the girl last month introduced me as Alan. So we're also going to have a raffle. And so we're collecting prizes. But as of now, the first prize will be a laptop that was donated by Overflow. So if you guys, those flyers, if y'all have any questions or information or suggestions, you can feel free to call us. Another thing we wanted to share with you guys is we had Congressman Dockett's office reach out to us. The Director of Outreach, Ms. Eva Gutierrez, met with us last week, and she actually approached us asking us what they could do for us, not only as Harlandale Council of PTAs, but as a school district. So if there's anything that you all need or would like us to refer or speak with them about, if you all could get with us or the president, we'd be happy to kind of connect. But like I said, one of our main goals is for us to connect the community and the businesses and individuals and people who don't have students in Harlandale with Harlandale Independent School District. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next up is going to be Ms. Josie Stiles.
Good evening, Mr. Quesada, members of the board, Mr. Madrigal, members of staff, and community members. I previously made a statement at the building committee meeting, but I felt like the statement I made is one that should be made to the full board and full staff. I'm a member of the 2015 Bond Oversight Committee. I have been an active managing member of all Bond Oversight Committees since 1998-1999. I've been the chair for every political action committee, or PAC, since 98, 99, except the 2004 bond, which did not pass. I'm here tonight just to make a very clear statement that I am in total disagreement with the way things are being handled by the current Bond Oversight Committee. This goes way beyond what this committee was set up to do. We should be there only to make sure that everything the Political Action Committee told the community would get done is actually done. That is the sole purpose of the Bond Oversight Committee. We are not there to question every dollar that is spent or every activity of the construction stage of this bond. That has never been done by previous bond oversight committees and should not be occurring now. That is up to our Harlandale Board of Trustees, our superintendent, and staff. As I have already stated previously, the Bond Oversight Committee does not need to know every nail that is hammered in and every brick that is placed on a building. This committee does not have the right to micromanage a school district project, and that is exactly what is happening. That is not the purpose of the Bond Oversight Committee. We have many members of the original 2015 Bond Oversight Committee who no longer attend due to the audacity of a few people and one vendor to do nothing but stir up trouble in our little community of Harlandale ISD. Oddly enough, the majority of the people attending current meetings have nothing to do with the successful passing of this bond. By the way, the superintendent and staff have absolutely no obligation to hold these meetings for bond oversight. The group can gather as an oversight with the superintendent and his staff. For the superintendent and his staff to take their time to meet with this group is their choice. We have always been fortunate that HISD has taken the time to meet with oversight when necessary and at their convenience. They are definitely not obligated to do so. Some members of the current oversight committee seem to be demanding to the point of being rude, which can make people wonder why HISD staff would meet with us. Let's not forget these informative meetings can stop at any time at the discretion of the superintendent and staff. Once again, I want to stress that I am in total disagreement with the micromanaging going on with this committee and would simply like the committee to go back to getting reports from the superintendent and staff as necessary, like we have always done in the past. Managing the details of all aspects of the bond should be totally left up to the experts from our staff, the construction companies, and finally our total commissioning authority, who, by the way, is totally responsible for the outcome of all work done. We pay a healthy price for that vendor to be the final authority. Anything that goes wrong should be foreseen and taken care of by this vendor. That is a job we pay a lot of money for them to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gale. Moving on, Ms. Karina Salcido, please.
Committee members, board members, superintendent, staff, and thank you to the Yale for your hospitality. I'm going to make a few statements. First of all, the 4D building committee meetings are videotaped, and I'm wondering why they're not on the web. On 4E, our property that we have of 100 acres, we need to hold on to our property and not have it been sold and not even go out for public bids, let it go out there to the community to find out if anybody else is willing to bid on it other than one developer, one company. The building committee meetings, I believe, should be on the web. Our bond oversight meetings, I believe, are successful. I believe they are informative. I don't believe it's a micromanagement by any form or any means. We are a community, and we do ask to be informed. I will take responsibility that I did ask the Director of Operations for the professionals to come in to see us personally. that TEA is asking for the recording of our bond oversight. I would like to see if it's gonna be recorded to show the audience, not just the person that's talking, the people that are talking, because they wanna see us as a whole. As a community member, I believe it is our right to know what's going on with the bond monies. Just as anyone else in the community that is a taxpayer, that is concerned about our buildings, concerned about our schools, or our children. And I think if we all come together, instead of bickering and complaining, we as a community can see our buildings being built by professionals, and if these professionals, such as construction companies, are not up for the job, then we need to find other construction companies that can do the job very well, not have problem after problem. I agree that our bond oversight can improve because we need additional people who are willing to come in and see what our bond money is paying for. I asked Mr. Soto some time back if we can have these bond oversight meetings at the schools themselves to invite those parents of those children that will be attending these new schools, so they themselves can see the progress that these individuals as professionals are doing or not doing. And lastly, I'd like to thank everyone who participates in allowing our bond oversight for our community. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Salcido. Next up is Ms. Julie Kimball, please.
Good evening, Board President, Board members, Superintendent Madrigal, and Cabinet. I'm Julie Kimball, HEA President. School budgets have been hit hard by health care costs. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show that school districts' costs for teachers' health insurance rose above the average annual rate of the 4% inflation. Meaning, the cost of inflation is at an average of 4%. Our board approved a 2% pay increase and health insurance costs tapped by approximately 27% onto teacher earnings. And that's with less coverage. Harlandale employees will be taking home less money again this school year. HEA is asking to look into better premiums. Please think outside of the box to help bring down rates, because it's costing Harlandale more money when teachers are leaving to other districts for better health care insurance, and they're taking their children too. We lose ADA monies, we lose the investment of all the trainings and PD we put into our teachers and relationships. It costs this district to replace and train teachers. Last June, one of you said the cost of insurance was going to increase, so you'd recommend a 2% salary increase. So you all can go back and look at the budget to see if there would be more help. Well, it's time to look at that budget. In the past 2 years, you did away of giving employees the $750 retention stipend. I'm asking that the $750 retention stipend be given to those employees who carry our insurance and be divided by the 12 months for those employees. It's one way of thinking outside the box. I thank you for speaking out at the insurance. committee and not allowing for this item to be brought forward today, and directing them to try and bring premiums down some more. There were two choices brought forward at the committee, and I don't consider TRS a choice. You ask any district who has TRS that once you go into TRS, you are not able to get out of TRS, and premiums are very high. We do not recommend TRS for our employees. We need to think outside the box to lower premiums and retain employees so that we can have affordable insurance for all employees. Tonight on the agenda is also approval of classroom waivers. Research shows students do better in small classroom settings. Please consider that before approving waivers for IR schools and STAR grade levels. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kimball. Next up is Mr. Patricio Espasa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Madrigal. The U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights defines violation as no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subject to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. I have brought up many issues to the school board. On May 16, 2016, I attended the school board meeting, and I brought to the attention of the school board that my son felt that it was not fair that he had to check in his shirt and be disciplined for it if he didn't, and the girls not.
Mr. President, if I may. Mr. Espasa has currently filed no less than 5 grievances, actually been filed with the district over the last 2 weeks. They concern the same subject matters that he's discussing here today. I would recommend that the speaker be instructed to follow that process and address those grievances and allow the grievance to run its course. The first step of the process will be addressed actually this week. I think it's in the best interest, not as attorney, I'm not going to give any legal advice, but it's in the best interest of the process, and it's fair for administration to have the issue heard as an issue of first impression as they come before administration and perhaps later on before the board.
The Department of Education requirement for reporting any violation is verbal. I do not have to follow school district policy.
I think all he's saying is that since we have the grievance pending in front of this board.
I'm making a statement. I'm not filing a grievance right now. I'm just making a statement.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
I was going to make sure, has he filed a grievance, Mr. Fuller?
As I stated earlier, there are no less than 5 currently on file under FNG with the district. Again, because of the fact that the process has been implemented and has begun, I think it's only fair for all parties involved to have the issue addressed pursuant to the grievance process which has been invoked.
I think in all fairness to you and to us, I think all we're saying is since you have the grievance pending.
Right. Grievances, plural.
The grievance is pending.
Plural, yes.
That you should, save those comments for the grievance process. Yeah.
Right.
If you want to speak on it.
Right, no, but I am allowed under the U.S. Department of Education to follow a verbal complaint, verbal form. I do not have to follow school district policy.
But I think there's a consequence if he shares information with us here. Will that disqualify the information at his grievance? That's what I want to know. I'm just trying to advise you, Mr. Wright.
Right, no, I understand your point. What I'm trying to say is there's a procedure that the U.S. Department of Education have to follow up. When a parent, or you don't even have to be a parent to submit a complaint to an administrator or teacher in a school district, that administrator or teacher has to immediately take action. And that's just making a statement. That is the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights procedures. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to reiterate on any of the past issues, any of the formal complaints that I have filed.
again, it's
And also, I also like to say for the fact, if you can submit, I'm just making a statement that it would be a suggestion that all the principals and vice principals receive a copy of the State Attorney General's Office of School Crimes and Discipline Handbook, and also get a copy of the Title IX U.S. Department of Education Civil Rights Violations Handbook. Thank you. You have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Espasa, and I will talk to Mr. Monica. Next up is Victor Salcido. I see you in the back, sir.
Good afternoon, board members. I'm here to talk about, I don't know why this is in the agenda here, which is on 4E. I think we got other stuff better to do than to try to sell some land right now, and we're actually trying to buy some land. We've been buying land all around Hollandale. And then we go over and try to sell it. Now, we sell it because our school is growing, and we got students that we can't hold in our school, you know, and we need to make another school or something else bigger, because at this time, I think our school enrollment is not climbing. You know, I would understand if we need an extra school or something, because that 100 acres would be nice to build another school there.